What is up, everybody? Three Walls and BLP. We are back. It is your weekly recap from 123 to 120 to 127, January 20th to January 27th. We're going to get a little bit of your recap for the divisional round, a little championship preview, talk about a little head coaching news, things like that going around the league. But before we do that, quick word from our sponsor.
What's up, guys? Obviously, sponsors on our video podcast. First time trying this out. Appreciate you guys giving it a chance. Enjoy the rest of the show. Listen to us. Subscribe on Spotify, iTunes, Apple, wherever you guys get your podcast. YouTube now. I'm going to keep trying this thing out. We'll see how it goes. But appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Enjoy the rest of the show. Cheers.
All right, let's get right into it. I'm not going to recap you to death here. If you are a football fan or a sports fan, paid attention to what was going on last weekend, you know it was one of the greatest weekends of football in recent history. Every single game came down to the last play, one-possession games, some of the greatest games we've seen. We had Bengals, Titans, 49ers, Packers, Rams, Bucks, and Bills, Chiefs. Well, on paper, it looked like it was going to be a great weekend of football, a lot of competitive games, a lot of close games, and it was. First game, Bengals beat the Titans on a last-second field goal. Joe Burrow was sacked 9 times. Derrick Henry returned and scored a touchdown. Tannehill had 3 picks. Joe Burrow manufactured a game-winning drive on the last minute of the game to get Evan McPherson into field goal range to drill a 52-yarder. Bengals win their first road playoff game in franchise history, I believe. Stat check me on that. And they go on to the AFC Championship, where they would play either Kansas City or Buffalo on the road. In the nightcap for Saturday, it was 49ers Packers in frozen, frigid, snowy Lambeau Field. Doesn't get much better than snowy Lambeau Field in the playoffs in football. Kind of a grind-them-out game. No team really exploded on offense. Rodgers was 20 of 29 for 225 yards. But Garoppolo was 11 for 19 for 131 yards and a pick. The interesting thing with Rodgers, I noted he had 20 completions. 18 of them went to Aaron Jones or Devontae Adams. Allen Lazard and Mercedes Lewis had the other catches, and Jones and Adams had 21 of his 29 attempts as targets. So clearly only was going to his go-to guys. A.J. Dillon left with an injury that kind of hurt them. But the 49ers run game, again, was stout. You had Mitchell with 53 yards, Samuel with 39 yards. Special teams ended up deciding it. 49ers blocked the kick, blocked the punt, returned it for a touchdown, and then scored the game-winning field goal as time expired. So you have the 49ers knocking off Aaron Rodgers, probably the MVP again, top seed, at his home stadium, which sends the Packers into an offseason of unknowns. Obviously, the Aaron Rodgers question is going to be there. Will he return? They have a lot of impending free agents and not much cap room. Devontae Adams is the biggest free agent name. So everybody's going to be watching the Packers like a hawk to see who stays, who goes, who they're able to bring back. I wouldn't be surprised if Rodgers left and Devontae followed him wherever he went. But what do I know? 49ers move on to the NFC Championship game. Sunday is when things got crazy. We had the Rams Bucks to kick things off in the afternoon. Rams jumped out to a 27-3 lead. And I'm sure a lot of people would probably be like, oh, this game's over. Let's turn it off. Tom Brady was still on that other sideline after getting beat up all game, not getting anything going on offense. He manufactured amazing drive after drive in the second half, mainly the fourth quarter, to get it to 27-27. Rams got the ball back with less than a minute left and forgot that Cooper Kupp is the best wide receiver in football right now. Let him get a 20-yard completion and a 44-yard completion to set them up for the game-winning field goal. Rams knock off Brady and the Bucks and advance to the NFC Championship game. Stafford was 28 of 38 for 366 and 2 TDs. Brady was 30 for 54 with 329, a touchdown, and a pick. Kupp had an amazing game, 9 catches, 183 yards, and a touchdown, and then the 2 big catches in the last drive to send them for the win. This game, first of all, how it started was shocking. I thought that the Bucs were the better team and would come out and win. Rams, for the first half, looked amazing, and then on the last drive, looked like they were the better team. Congrats to Stafford. He played great, didn't make that many mistakes, got the ball where it needed to go, got the win, moves on to the NFC Championship game, gets his second playoff win in his career, and sends the Bucs home packing and Brady home packing. And there's already a lot of speculation about whether Brady is going to come back or retire. I think he's probably as close to retiring as he has been. His comments in the media have been more morbid, I would say, than years past. Gronk is in the same boat. He said, I think yesterday, that if you had to ask him today, right now, he'd probably lean towards retirement. And the Bucs also have a lot of pending free agents. You remember last year they brought back all 22 starters from their Super Bowl winning team. First time any team's ever done that. A lot of guys took 1-year deals, pay cuts, like, hey, let's just run it back, see what happens. And this year they're going to have a lot of questions to answer. Both of their coordinators are frontrunners for a couple of the head coaching jobs that we'll talk about in a little bit. Brady being up in the air, Gronk being up in the air, Antonio Brown not coming back. Chris Godwin is a free agent coming off an ACL injury. Leonard Fournette's going to want to get paid. Ronald Jones is going to get paid. There's a lot of questions for a team that came into the season. A lot of people thinking they were going to go undefeated and walk their way to a Super Bowl. Just goes to show you how tough the NFL is and how, it's not played on paper for a reason. Every year is different. Every year's changed. That's why we haven't seen a repeat champion since the Patriots in 03-04. And I think that'll probably continue. It's very hard to get back to the Super Bowl, let alone win a Super Bowl year after year. And then the nightcap, the most crazy game in recent football memory. I'm not going to say ever because we're suffering from recency bias. Chiefs-Bills. Chiefs win 42-36 in overtime. Let me just read you the fourth quarter scoring. With 8:55 left, the Chiefs kicked a field goal to take a 26-21 lead. A couple of 3-and-outs here and there from there on. And then a minute 54 left, Gabriel Davis caught his third touchdown to put the Bills up 29-26 with a minute 54 left. With a minute 2 left, Tyreek Hill took a 64-yard pass from Mahomes to the house. Chiefs go up 29-33. 13 seconds left in the game. The Bills manufactured a great drive, took off all the time they could. Chiefs held on to all of their timeouts, and Josh Allen drove the ball 75 yards in 49 seconds through a touchdown pass to Gabriel Davis, his fourth of the night, to give the Bills a 36-33 lead with 13 seconds left. Now think of it. Okay, we always joke like how much time is too much for these great quarterbacks with Brady and Rodgers and Mahomes and all that. Everybody and their mother thought 13 seconds is not enough time to do anything. Anything. So let me tell you what they did in those 13 seconds. We are going to get to the drive chart here. Hold on. Okay. So 13 seconds left. The Bills kick it deep. I don't know what that thought process was. You want to run as much clock off as you can before the offense touches the ball. Squib it. High pooch it, whatever. Don't kick it in the end zone. You can't have a touchback because a touchback gets them to the ball at the 25. No time comes off the clock. Patrick Mahomes is out there. 3 timeouts. It's astonishing. First and 10, first play of the drive. Mahomes passes to Tyreek Hill for 19 yards. Chiefs take a timeout. Next play, literally the next play, Mahomes pass to Travis Kelce, 25 yards, gets the ball to the Bills' 31-yard line. Chiefs call timeout. Harrison Butker kicks a 49-yard field goal as time expires, sends the game to overtime. Chiefs win the toss, go 75 yards, touchdown pass to Kelce. Chiefs win. Unbelievable. Unbelievable game. So awesome. I mean, it sucks that one team had to lose. You had Josh Allen, who played another almost perfect game. He went 27 of 37, 329 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions. The 4 touchdowns went to Gabriel Davis, who had 8 catches for 201 yards and those 4 touchdowns. Longest catch was 75 yards. They took the house. Mahomes was 33 of 44, 378 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown. He was also their leading rusher, so was Allen. So you had both quarterbacks account for almost 500 yards each. I'm sorry, Allen for about 400, and then Mahomes for about 450-ish. We'll call it. Just an unreal game. NFL overtime rules, say what you want about them. Obviously, you want each team to get the ball, but the Bills didn't lose that game at the coin toss. They lost it with their soft defense, not realizing the Chiefs had all 3 timeouts, not kicking the ball, doing a squib kick, kicking it deep, everything like that. Unreal game. So awesome that we got to see it. Chiefs move on, host the conference championship game for the 4th consecutive year. Andy Reid is the first coach ever to coach 2 teams to 4 consecutive conference championship games. First coach to coach 2 teams to 3 consecutive home conference championship games. Eagles in the early 2000s, Chiefs right now. So we've got Sunday afternoon, Bengals at Chiefs for the AFC Championship, 49ers at Rams for the NFC Championship. Chiefs are 7-point favorites. Right now, the over-under is set at, 54.5. Both offenses are phenomenal. I mean, Joe Burrow's on a heater. Mahomes is just electric to watch. I don't think it's going to be as much of a shootout as people are thinking. I would still say I like the over in this, but I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring shootout game. I think the Chiefs win. 7 points is a lot in a championship game. I'm going to take the Bengals to cover, and I'll take the over just because it's going to be more fun to watch. But I just think that Bengals O-line gave up 9 sacks to the Titans. If they give up 9 sacks to this Chiefs defense, it's going to be an even longer day for Burrow. I don't think they can survive that. And I think Mahomes saw what the Bengals defense did a couple weeks ago, and the Bengals snuck one out on them and is playing some of his best football right now. I trust him in a big game. I think Burrow is good. I don't know if he's at this level yet to go into Arrowhead in the AFC Championship game against Mahomes and Andy Reid and beat them in their house. So I'm going to take the Bengals to cover because 7 is a lot, but I think the Chiefs win and go to their 3rd consecutive Super Bowl. And then the NFC Championship game, you've got NFC West rivals. You've got Kyle Shanahan, who Sean McVay calls daddy. 49ers have won 6 straight against the Rams, 2 this year. Everyone says it's hard to beat a team 3 times. Quick injury note, the Niners do expect to have Debo, Trent Williams, and Elijah Mitchell healthy for the game at what I guess you can call Levi's South. The Rams tried to put a block on people outside of LA buying tickets. It looks like it's going to be about 60-40 Niners fans again, as it was in Week 18. This game, Rams, are minus 3.5. The over-under is set at 46. I think this game is going to come down to quarterback play. I think the 49ers are going to be able to run the ball as best as they can. The Rams are probably going to be able to move the ball a little bit on the ground too. I think it's going to come down to the quarterback play and then the O-line play as well. Whichever D-line can get most pressures and take down the quarterback the most, I think is going to decide this game. I think if you're just looking at quarterbacks, you have to lean Stafford because of Garoppolo and his injury. But I just trust the guys around Garoppolo so much more than I do the guys around Stafford, which is tough to say because he's got what could be the MVP in the league at Cooper Kupp at wide receiver. That O-line is just young and beat up. The Bucs were getting after Stafford a little bit. The 49ers are getting healthy at the right time outside of Garoppolo's thumb. I just think the Niners have been in this situation before, been in the NFC Championship games more recently. At least this team. People forget this is the same team basically the same team that went to the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Last year they were just so injured and so beat up from that long playoff run that they weren't able to string things together and get things going. That team that went to the Super Bowl is back, plus or minus a few pieces, probably for the little bit better. I think the Niners get it done. I'm taking the Niners outright. I'll take the over. I think it probably comes down to another special teams play with Robbie Gould. And give me a prop bet for Debo to score 2 touchdowns and Kittle to get 1 too. So I think it's going to be a rematch of Super Bowl 54. Niners Chiefs again. I think it's just going to be so great, to see this. I also think it's a great storyline with the Niners that they traded up to draft Trey Lance. He's the future. Everybody's just writing off Garoppolo every single week. All he's done is win games to them, get them to 2 NFC Championship games and possibly 2 Super Bowls in his time in the playoffs. I don't understand the hate on him. I think he's a great quarterback. He's a great game manager. He puts the ball where it needs to be. And I think if he gets back into the Super Bowl, he's not going to make those mistakes they did in the first one. So that's my pick, Niners, 49ers, Niners, Chiefs, Super Bowl. And then I'll just take the Niners to win it because I have a future on them. Quick head coaching news here. What's up, Obi? Obi's coming over to say hi. He's not happy that I'm not paying attention to him. Sorry, bud. That is working. Today, the Broncos hired Packers offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett to be their head coach. The Bears hired Matt Eberflus to be their head coach, and they also hired Ryan Poles to be their GM. The Vikings hired Adolfo Mensa to be their GM. Ben Roethlisberger retired. What else we got? Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn says he's staying in Dallas. It looks like Byron Leftwich is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach. And I would say that Leftwich leaving the Bucs and Hackett leaving the Packers are going to have ripple effects in the NFL because I think that's going to affect how their quarterbacks of their former teams make their decisions. Rodgers has been linked to the Broncos for a couple of years now, at least the last year. I think that might have some thoughts into it. And I think if Leftwich does leave and Bowles leaves, I don't know if Brady comes back. I don't think him and Arians have a very good relationship. It's kind of evident. I think Leftwich was the reason he kind of got his footing and kind of got to run the offense he wanted. And I think if Leftwich leaves and goes basically home to Jacksonville, the team that he called home for so many years, I think that might influence his decision to hang him up. Remaining head coaching jobs out there, there's the Raiders, but I think they'd be stupid not to give it to Rich Bisaccia. I think the favorite is Harbaugh. I don't know about that. You still have the Giants head coaching job. You still have the who else is out there? I failed to mention that Sean Payton announced he's stepping away from the Saints. He's still under contract for a couple more years, so any team that wants to hire him is going to have to trade or compensate the Saints in some way. Everybody says this is the alarm bells. He's going to Dallas. I think Mike McCarthy is as lame a duck as you can be, with both Kellen Moore getting head coaching interviews everywhere and Sean Payton now becoming available. It's going to be very hard for Jerry Jones to look himself in the mirror and hang on to Mike McCarthy when he's got these shiny new toys just waiting in the wings. The Dolphins job is still open. Although it looks like Brian Daboll is linked to that one, which makes sense. He was the offensive coordinator at Alabama when Tua won his national championship. And I know I'm missing another team that's got a head coaching open vacancy. Houston, the team that everybody forgets is a thing. They have a head coaching job. I don't even know where to start with them. Vikings job is open as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they went with an offensive guy, got rid of Kirk Cousins and kind of rebuilt there. And that's about all I got. So my picks for this weekend, I've got the Bengals to cover, Chiefs to win over in that game, and I've got the Niners to win outright and the over in that one. That's really it. Quick little 20-minute pod for you here. Would be remiss if I did not give a shout out to number 7, Big Ben, retired today, 18 years, 2-time Super Bowl champ, 6-time Pro Bowler, top 10 in passing yards, just an ultimate gamer. Me and him didn't have the best relationship when I was in Pittsburgh, but you get nothing but love and respect for 7 and what he did for that organization. Great football player. So best of luck in your retirement, Ben. Hope you do well. That's all I got for you guys. I did see Power of the Dog this past week, 95 out of 100. My tied for favorite movie, best movie of the year. Benedict Cumberbatch was amazing. Cody Smith-McPhee was awesome. Jesse Plemons was good. Very slow burn to get to the crescendo, but once the crescendo hits, it pays off in spades. Beautifully writing, beautifully shot, just everything was beautiful about it. Loved it. 95 out of 100. And I think Benedict and Andrew Garfield should be up there for Best Actor once the Oscars come along. Cody Smith-McPhee should be up there for Best Supporting Actor. And that's about it for you guys. So enjoy it. Conference Championship weekend, one of the best weekends of the year. We will, in a couple of weeks, have another Super Bowl Squares contest going on for us. Last year's was amazing. You guys bought them out so quickly. So if we do the same thing again, it becomes such a big hit. Maybe we'll do two pools for it. We'll do some more prop bets. I'll get things going for you guys. I'll have a big preview. I'll get all kinds of people on for you, just like we did last year, string it all together. And we'll wrap up this football season the best way possible. Stay well. Stay safe. Love you guys. Cheers.